So hello everyone, welcome to dearth. This is Aswathy Alex, and I would like to remind you all by saying is that being disciplined is the greatest form of self-love. So let's talk about Constituent Assembly. When we got independence, that is on 1947, was it all of a sudden that these powers were vested on us, were transferred to us, and how did we start from nothing to this great nation? So we're going to discuss about our Constituent Assembly, which was set up in 1946, and this idea was actually put forward by the pioneer Mr. M. N. Roy, and this was actually put up in 1934 that we need a constitution and something to govern us. So finally we had this thing which was materialized in 1946. Yes, it was a very long run, but at least we got it by 1946. So why was this Constituent Assembly formulated? So this was formulated in a reason why, because these powers from these British government could be transferred in a very systematic and orderly fashion to these able, eligible leaders so that they can lead our nation in more independent and sovereign way. So the first meeting was constituted on 9 December 1946, and then we all reassembled again on 14 1947, a day before we got an independence. And when we're talking about who are the members of these Constituent Assembly, these were the members of Viceroy's Executive Council. So these were the members who are already in the system, who's already in the government, who has sense of understanding of how everything is working, so that it's easier, it's more smoother while transferring the power. So that's the reason why the members of Viceroy's Executive Council was actually made to be the members of Constituent Assembly. So when you're talking about the composition or how these members were elected to this place, first of all is actually, so 389 members were elected or seats were allocated for them. So from that, 289 members were from the provinces, that is this British provinces, and the other 93 were from these princely state or these kingdoms that we had in India. And from that, from the provinces, 292 were the ones from these provinces. The other 4 were from each provincial commissioners. So that is, there were 4 chief election commissioners provinces, and 1 from each provinces were constituted. But unfortunately, these people or these seats for the allocation of these princely states were mostly left vacant because they were not interested, I guess, or they just kept themselves away from all these transferring of power, because for them already they have lost so much of the external autonomy and even to a larger extent an internal autonomy of these princely state. So they didn't know what's the difference they're gonna be when you're gonna be in a new form of government. It's somebody else is gonna come for the Britishers, and that's it for them. So that's the reason why these princely states totally largely kept away from them, and seats were allocated in proportion to the population of each places. That is, for example, 1 to 1 million people, and 1 person from 1 million people were elected and kept there in the Constituent Assembly. And that's how we have a Constituent Assembly, and it took us a while to get independence. 1 more year passed by to get independence, and few more years passed by so that we could get our constitution. It was finally enacted on 1950. And even though it was actually made in November 26th, we had to wait 1 or 2 more months so that in January 26th we could get our constitution. So that was how the power was transferred from a foreign country to a nation which is sovereign, which is democratic, which is republic, and we are essentially ruling ourselves by ourselves itself. We don't have anyone else above us. For example, in Ireland, even though they are independent, they are under the Britishers. So, but we are sovereign nation, we are a republic nation. There is no external power which is going to tackle in us, which is going to meddle in us and going to decide for us. So that's it, how our Constituent Assembly was formed. So that's it for today's video. Kindly click on subscribe button, share, watch more videos, and thank you so much. Bye bye.